Welcome to the Past Lives Cafe. I am your host, Chione, an intuitive energy worker and acclaimed past life regressionist. Come with me as we journey through the spiral of time to forgotten places. Hello. Today, joining us on the Past Lives Cafe podcast is my good friend, Chief Honey. They have an organization called the Building an Empire Life, which the acronym stands for the Bay Life. I am so happy to have Chief Honey here today with me. We have been trying to make this podcast happen, and it is through sheer determination and overcoming technology on both of our sides that we have made this happen today. It's going to be as magical a discussion as I've known for quite a while. The reason I wanted Chief Honey on this episode is because we recently shared a past life regression experience. And this was a group online regression experience. And I could tell by the look on your face that you had seen something that had reminded you of maybe an origin that you've been thinking about for a very long time. And you had shared some very interesting things on that group online discussion. I am just dying to pry into your memories and into what you visualized and get your take on what exactly you believe your past life that you visualized to be.
Hi, Chione. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm honored actually to be here with you right now. Look forward to this. Definitely looking forward to connecting with you and helping others. It started off with a spiral. A lot of things seem to start off with that for me. If not starting off there, it ends there. So it started off with a spiral. I pulled out my sketchbook because it was very visual for me. Everything was just coming in very quickly for me. So I pulled out my sketchbook and I just started drawing what I could see, no matter how it came out. And it started off with a spiral that kind of looked like it was inside of a purple flame. It started off there. And then as the visualization of where I was and what my body looked like, it kind of took me to some space that looked like it's never cold. I started writing these things down and it looked like it was sunny almost all the time. And even when it was nighttime, it still had like this illumination in the sky where it wasn't as dark, but you could tell it was a different time frame of the day. Sitting with the area, there was grass everywhere. There was water that was continuously flowing. There were mountains. There were waterfalls. There were different things like that in it. And it felt very familiar. And I'm going to get to you why it feels familiar to me as well for multiple reasons. The sun and the moon that were there, they didn't even look like our sun and our moon. But I took the time to look around. There was a section where there were stones that it looked like a gathering space, right? But the stones were in a spiral, still creating a circle where everybody gathered. But when you look at an eagle's eye view, it looked like it was a spiral. You wouldn't be able to tell by just walking up on it. That's the creation of the gathering space. But that's what it was. And dancing was a thing that was needed to be done for connection, meditation, ritual like things. And it was very interesting to look around me and see the others that were near me. They were like me, but they were curious about me. Seeing me see them in that moment, it was like, what are you doing here? Some of them were like, what are you doing here? And others were like, familiar with me, like, are you back here? They were very friendly. And a lot of them seemed to know me. You couldn't tell gender. You couldn't tell it. It seemed everybody had female and male characteristics and mannerisms to them. that came out certain moments. The communication wasn't of speaking, though. We didn't open our mouths to talk. It was through frequency and sound.
Sound. I
Yeah.
did not know that. Oh, I
Yeah.
can't wait to hear more about that.
Yes, it was through frequency and sound. Nobody parted their lips to speak, to talk, to communicate. No,
Telepathy type of thing.
it's telepathy.
Yep.
We could see in the dark with our third eye, though, not with eyeballs, actually. So eyes open, still couldn't see unless you were activating your third eye. Like literally in that moment, you could see. When I took time to pay attention to myself, I looked down at my body. My body was like a blue hue. And it wasn't all one blue hue. There were like shades of blue in certain areas, right? And all over my body, you could see different connecting gems. I had a crown on my head that was intertwined with my hair and my mind. What most people would say is your brain. So it was intertwined. It was something that I could not remove off my head if I wanted to. It was there.
It was a part of you.
Yes, it was just a part of me. There were gems, purple, blue, and green, as well as like white. Then when I looked at my skin in certain spaces with certain lights, it was transparent. When you opened up my body, like I opened up my body during that to see what was on the inside, there were translucent stones. Yeah. So I looked at my
Beautiful.
feet to see what was on my feet, you know, to see what I was walking on. And it was like this shoe-like ordeal that was a mixture of copper and wood on my feet.
How grounding.
Yeah. Then there was this space that I looked over at, and it looked like a body of water, but it wasn't really water. I can't tell exactly what it was. It was some type of sustenance, some type of chemical, some type of whatever it was. It had little specks in it, and it looked like a fountain almost coming out of that body of, I'm going to call it a body of water because I still have not been able to figure out what that was. But there were things coming out of it like it was a fountain, but it wasn't that. They looked like plants, but I can't tell what kind of plants they were. They were very pretty. So I took the time to get to know myself. I was the daughter of leaders. My mother and father were leaders there. Most people looked like either they were really, really young looking or extremely old looking. Me, on the other hand, I looked wise, middle age, and I was an elder that had never died. I taught by the water, is what I was shown. Is that every time I taught by the water. The number 4 was very, 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 very relevant to me. I wrote that down. Literally, it's just 4. We cooked over fire after hunts or fishing, is what I was shown as well. I was walking around with a spear and a staff. Then I was told these words: you need to accept who you are. So I sat with that. And I also heard the words, I see your dark and bring you to the light. I was at ease and searching.
Both and.
So it was very powerful for me, big time powerful for me, because about a month or so prior to that, sometime prior to this meditation that we did, I went to a sound bath. And during the sound bath, I was shown myself running. I'm just running, you know, and I'm running from something, but I don't know what I'm running from. And just keep looking back and I can't see it. Keep looking back, I can't see it. So then I find a hiding space. I jump down and I'm hiding. So I'm in this field, but the field has like sections of it that you can hide under, almost like how you see hobbits with their homes. So
Right.
it was like one of those kind of like hiding spaces. I don't know if you've watched The Lord of the Rings and remember the scene where Frodo and everybody just ends up underneath and they're trying to hide. And it's like they're underneath, but you can see the roots and
Right.
stuff of the tree from where they're hiding under.
Right.
That's what it looked like to me, that I was hiding underneath that. And then I could feel darkness. And then darkness comes over it. But then when it's looking for me, it's like we're both in the same space. I'm still trying to hide, but the darkness is like, I feel you over here. Where are you? And I went to go look up and it was me. I was literally running from myself. So then there was the vision of me like passing out and then passing out from running still. I started running again and then I passed out. Some tribe like folk came out of nowhere and drugged me into their village. They got me back to who I was. They got me back to health. They got me back to, they just took care of me, even though I wasn't of their village. And then I ended up leaving and walking somewhere from it. And I ended up going to a space where it was like I was finding my peace. I felt peaceful there, right? And the space that I went to, I drew a picture of it and then I painted it. And it's the exact same space that I was taken to during the meditation with you. So I was being cradled by a weeping willow,
Oh my.
by a river that was continuously flowing. There were mountains, there were waterfalls, stones. You can see this is nighttime, but the sky is not dark.
That's right.
So while I'm grounding my feet into the ground, my hand was being gently caressed by the river as I'm being held by the weeping willow. I'm blue.
Yes, you are. And that's a very human looking body in your painting.
I couldn't even put all the details in it, so I just did a silhouette.
I can see. That's a beautiful painting.
Thank you. So it brought everything together for me because even in that moment, it was, this is where you are of peace. And there were other people, there were other beings there. There were beings who lived in the mountains. There were beings who lived by the stones. There were beings who lived by the water at the waterfall. And then there were the beings that I came from in their village. They were there too. Yeah. Everybody different hues, but there for the
Really?
same reason, same purpose, and with the same understanding of we all have to make this work together.
When you were talking after that online regression, you said you felt emotional a bit because the visual that you had and the feeling that you had was one of, I've been here before, but this place is so peaceful and I'm wanted here, even by people or beings that you didn't know, and that you wanted to go back there.
Yeah.
I remember you're saying that. And it actually, a lot of us, when we were listening to you, got choked up because who doesn't want to be there? Especially when we're in such a state in global affairs, even where not many of us appear to be getting along very well for a number of reasons. So, who wouldn't want to be just some place where we felt comfortable? No, it was more than comfortable, it was wanted.
Yes.
I have so many questions that I'm going to start back with the spiral.
Okay.
Because you and I had connected even before we even knew each other on the spiral. Because I have a number of pieces of jewelry that have spirals on them. And the first thing you said to me was, I see your spiral and I feel that.
Yeah.
What does the spiral mean to you?
The spiral means everything about evolving, that spiritual connection, everything being within its time, whatever time is really supposed to be. It's a representation for me of energy, that universal connection and power.
I love that. My mother is of the Chickasaw tribe, as I had shared with you. And the Chickasaw people see the spiral as the symbol of air and breath and life. So it's not lost on me that you feel that with the spiral just innately. That's what it means to you. But you are also an artist. So you have a very special ability to not just portray feelings in a visual way, but also see feelings around you.
Yes.
And so for you to see the life force and to see evolution as a spiral is, I think, pretty profound.
I appreciate that.
Do you think that the stones that were placed for the gathering area, as you said, from the eagle's perspective, you could see that it was placed in a spiral, has a connection with that evolutionary feeling you get when you think of the spiral, what that symbolizes to you?
I definitely do. It did not shock me at all when I saw it from an eagle eye view. It was just intriguing because walking up on it, you could not tell that that was, but you could tell that it was a place of connection, of connecting, of gathering, of healing. You could tell that's what it was exactly. Right in the middle was a fire space. So you could tell, like from an eagle eye view, that this is somewhere that energy is shared. This is somewhere where connection is built, if not shattered, if it's not needed. This is that space. So, yeah, I think it all is a connection.
That's beautiful. And you said that place, that gathering place, was not just for people to get together to commune, but they also danced.
Danced, yes.
They did ritual together.
Yes, the dancing was the meditation, the dancing was the ritual.
So they somatically connected to their higher selves and the higher beings of all there is, if you will, through movement.
Yeah.
And they also did not use their voices, but there was sound and thought energy that allowed them to telepathically communicate.
Yes, that frequency was really strong.
Don't you find that interesting, Chief, that you're in a place where they're relying on fire? They're using spears. I can't wait to dig into that with you. Having a spear and a staff. I mean, that's big. But I find it so interesting that they're gathering around fire to stay warm, also to cook, and as the gathering totem, if you will. It's also an incredible element that's required in at least our life on this planet. And they're hunting, they're fishing, everything is done as if in our mindset back in the old days where we went out and hunted and fished and gathered and the whole nine yards, right? So there's this element of, I don't want to say ancient, but it could go back to ancient practices, yet they're accelerated in their thought, their feeling, and their communication skills.
Yes.
It's like this dichotomy, right, of old practices and things that we only dream of being able to do.
Yes.
I think that's fascinating.
I think it is too, especially because with this journey of creating my tribe, Tribe Manuel, of creating it. And that's the name that I've given it. Yet when spirit shows me what my tribe's name really is, that's what I'll go by then. At right now it's Tribe Manuel. But as the time has passed by, these things that are being shown to me have been within me my entirety of being since I was a little girl. These are things that I've seen. These are things that I've wanted. These are things that I've dreamt of. These are things that I yearned for, things that I literally live by within myself. So it was beautiful. It's been something that even with my son, we've been trying to figure out how to communicate with each other. He came up with hieroglyphics himself that we're going to start using. I don't know where they came from. They look very ancient to me. So even with what I'm seeing, what I'm being shown, and what I've felt over the years, these things are just coming together to like confirm what is.
I find that so, number one, incredible. And having met your beautiful son, he is so sensitive and so kind, but he also is a very young old soul.
Yes.
The things that he says have this ring of absolute truth, deep wisdom. And I spent a weekend with the both of you when we had been working at a festival. So I was really fortunate to be blessed with his presence. And he just struck me as probably one of the most amazing people I've ever met, honestly. But I have to ask you, how is it that you think he came up with this communication system? Do you feel it was connected to the visuals and the memories you've had since you were a child?
I have a strong feeling that all of that's connected because I was the vessel that was blessed enough to create him. So I feel as if a lot of the memories that I may have had and may have been suppressed, that may have been passed down to him as well. At the same time, I feel as if maybe his being could be of a familiar one of my past. At the same time, maybe we've met before and we've connected before, and now we're just mother and son, you know? And in the regard of like working together in the world, working together in whatever field that we were in, that we worked together, we helped each other, we were able to lean on each other, strengthen each other, show each other, be each other's mirror. And then even within this visual, I had no spouse and no kids in this visual.
So you only recognized what in that visual was your parents. Did you recognize them from anyone in this life?
No, it was what was being shown to me is that I was the daughter of leaders. It was more so they weren't there. It was more so their presence was felt all around.
I understand. They weren't there. So you never saw their actual forms.
No.
It was their energy that
Yes.
was left behind. So that
Yes.
leads me to the next question about the crown that was just part of you. Because before you even told me about your parents being leaders, I questioned whether this was some sort of symbol of royalty or leadership. Or was this because your body was created and innately embedded with gemstones? Was this just part of who you were? Or maybe both?
I feel like it could be like a mixture of both. I had many visions during the sound bath that this meditation brought to confirmation for me. So one of the visuals that I had during that meditation as well was looking at myself, and I was not of human form. I had a body, and the body looked like what they portray of an alien, of an
Okay.
extraterrestrial. And the body, because most of alien life forms, the way they show them, they still have human-like
Human
stature.
like qualities and characteristics. Yep.
So I was shown that about myself during the sound bath, and I was also shown this crown, but I didn't see it. Like it was more so close up. It was a close up view, almost like I might have taken a selfie real, real close to my face, and it was just extraterrestrial blue. And the crown was inside my head. It was literally connected then too, but it was embedded like in there. So even with that visual and this visual, I feel as if it was just that is who I was because nobody else around had those jewels. They didn't have those gems. They didn't have those things connected into their hair or their minds. They didn't have it embedded. It was not connected. It was just me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it was emblematic of that having leadership, that having wisdom, like you said, the elder
Yeah.
that never passed.
Yeah. And I never aged, never died. And I didn't get any older than middle age looking.
So, what did your body feel like? Did you feel energetic? Did you feel vibrant? Did you feel what you would think a middle aged being would feel like?
No, I felt very youthful, like I did when I was about 6 before my life got dark. I felt like that, like no worry in the world, feeling protected, covered, blessed, knowing that everything is working out for its greater good. I just was at peace. My whole body, the vibration that I felt was strong.
Beautiful.
It felt strong because it felt like I could feel everything around me like I do in my waking life now.
I love that. Are you willing to talk about the darkness a little bit? Because you've mentioned it a couple times.
I do not mind.
Okay. You mentioned it as far as what a Carl Jungian wise quote. I felt like you were pulling out with your hobbit like experience, being in the rooted ground, like your mother earth is holding you, and you're realizing that the darkness is trying to find you. And so my question is, a lot of times in the Western civilization, we use culturally dark to mean bad. Did you take it that way? Was darkness considered something that was coming to get you in an ominous type of thing, and then you realized it was you?
The darkness that I was feeling, not all darkness is bad to me, because some of the darkness I have come across was protective. It wasn't something to destroy me. A lot of the darkness that I've come across, it seems dark because of the energy for protection. That's what it seems like. At that moment, the darkness that was trying to come get me, that was me, felt more like something trying to make me aware of energy that is around me, that is trying to attach itself to me, wanting it to be, as they say in the world, people like to deflect, right? So it came off like this is the image that is of me that is out there and is trying to come get me. And then there was the darkness that was there with me when I was within Mother Earth, being protected. There was darkness there too with me. But that darkness was not that same darkness that was trying to come get me. It was
That
more
is
for
so amazing.
protection.
It was protection. I mean, linguistically, we pull apart these different words and how context has been added through construct, and whether it's racism or culturalism or xenophobia or whatever, we have these feelings or meanings attached to words. And I love the fact that you are able to recognize this feeling outside of any of that stuff and just say, this is like a cloak of protection or an image of me that I have to figure out whether I'm going to accept or deflect.
Right.
Beautiful. So that is pretty deep, Chief. Seriously. No wonder you had that look on your face.
Yes.
After, because you looked like you had had a million realizations in a few moments, which that's pretty strong. So I love that image of the darkness being more of a messenger for you, as opposed to being something terribly negative. And I also love the fact that dark is protective, right? Where do we go if we feel threatened? We go to the dark. That is our cloak. That is our way of protecting where we are so that people can't see us or others can't see us. So I love that. I love that connection with the darkness in a way that is not negative.
Yes.
I also wanted to ask you about these beings. And you're saying they were definitely what we could call extraterrestrial. So, do you believe that these beings were alive on another planet? Or do you believe this was Earth at another time? Because you did draw some very visual Earth like things, like a willow tree. And it makes me think of the Avatar movie, where these beautiful beings with blue hue and some animal, but also some animal people versus also some human people type of characteristics. So I'm just wanting to know, did you get a sense of where in the heck you were? Because I want to go there tomorrow.
It did not feel like I was on Earth. It didn't feel that way. It felt like somewhere that was similar to it. They say that there's that whole split universe type ordeal. Like, what's going on over here? It's probably going on somewhere else too, just at a different time frame, rate, speed, maybe too. So that's what it felt like. It felt like I was somewhere familiar with life on it, point blank, period. But nobody around me looked like they needed the trees to stay alive. No one around looked like they needed the water to keep going. It didn't look like it was like a necessity, a need, because I didn't see anyone drinking. Everybody, like even the fact that nobody was opening their mouths to speak. Our mouths didn't part for any reason. It was
Oh,
its facial expression was a thing, so mouth, like even when they saw me, it wasn't like a mouth open. It was just more like facial expressions, eyes open or, frowned or whatever the case may be. It didn't look like it was a sustenance that was necessary, like how on earth everything needs what it needs. It just was all going together. I would say it felt like visiting, leaving, visiting, leaving. And you could say it was like Earth, but I don't know anywhere on Earth where the temperature is the same all day, all night. There's no real chill or anything like that. I don't know anywhere where the sun and the moon look the way that the sun and the moon looked when I was there. Because our sun and our moon here doesn't look like the sun and the moon that I saw. The moon is not even a full moon there. It's like stuck in crescent mode. And then the sun is not bright like that, but it illuminates the sky. So it was something you could look at without it hurting your eye.
it's like everything there was to nurture life.
Yeah, that's what it felt like.
Because even that image that you drew and then painted, the willow was actually holding you.
Yes, it had life itself. It was actually living. It wasn't, it like the trees here are living. But you don't see a
Right.
tree scooping up anyone, you know? And it takes me to the fact that with you bringing up Avatar, there's so many movies, there's so many things out there that I am completely obsessed with. I would say, I would think it's an obsession because I feel so much connected to it. And Avatar is one of them. Pocahontas, the movie Brave, The Lion King is my favorite. But a lot of these movies, a lot of these messages that's in it, it makes me yearn for home because I don't feel like I'm supposed to be here. I feel like the only reason why I am here is to help other people, is to help heal, is to help shine light and to show folk that they can, whether they feel like they can't or not. Like if they feel like they can and they're just down in the dumps and don't have a way to get to it, there's a light there. There's something there that can awaken you to see your bigger power, your bigger purpose,
Yeah.
you know? So I feel like that's what I'm sent here for. Either way. And then when my job is done, until my job is done, I'm going to continue to be here.
I want to talk about Tribe Manuel, but first, I want to ask you, it hurts me to hear that someone feels they don't belong somewhere. And so when I hear that, my first question is, what can I do to make you feel like you belong? Number one. And number two, do you feel like you don't belong in a negative way, as if I'll never fit in and this place isn't for me and I feel mistreated? Or do you feel like, no, no, it's okay that I don't belong here because I know my higher mission, as you've just explained to us?
It is a feeling that I'm okay with
Okay, good.
not feeling wanted or not feeling like I belong here. I am okay with that. When I was a young girl, that was difficult for me to accept. The older that I have gotten, I have realized that there's so much power, and people don't realize that they're showing me more who I am by disregarding me, by dismissing me, by mistreating me, by using me. They showed me who I am by trying to ostracize me, or isolate me. You've shown me who I am, and I appreciate it. No matter the pain that I've had to go through to understand what I was going through, it allowed me to see more the bigger purpose of who I knew I was and who Spirit showed me I was as a little girl. So Before, yeah, it was like a negative ordeal. I tried to take my life when I was 16 because of it. Since then, I've struggled with my belonging. And then I found my way in my belonging by going within myself, by paying attention to the patterns of my life around me, paying attention to the patterns of the folk that were around me, to the things that were being said to me, to the praises that I was getting. And then not too long after those praises, here comes the hypocrisy behind the praises because of your light. I like your light. Just don't shine it over here. So the only thing that you could do for me in any of it is what you've been doing, is continue to be your beautiful self and be there the way that you have been. Because that for me has done so much more for me than anything you could imagine anyone has walked around me doing. And I appreciate it.
That's beautiful. And you know what? That shows that every single one of us has the power and kindness to make a difference in someone's life,
Yes.
just like you've shown me.
Yeah, because there's those folk who didn't carry me like that. So it's not like it's been in every interaction, every sit down, every pass by in public that I've gone through so much negative things, because really those negative things don't outweigh those positive interactions I've had in life that also helped uplift me to show me who I am. So be it good or bad, folk been showing me who I am, confirming to me who I am.
That's pretty powerful, Chief, because a lot of times when we see others' behavior, we often say, well, I guess you show me your true colors. But I love the fact that, yes, they perhaps have shown you their true colors, or they've confirmed it, validated it, whatever. But I love the fact that you're also using it as a tool for introspection and saying, now, how am I going to handle this? How am I going to react to this? What is it that I've done that's potentially maybe ignited something in this individual that they've responded in the way they've responded? Or maybe I've done nothing, but now it's on me to show me who I am at this very moment when perhaps they're at their lowest as far as behavior goes. I love that perspective. And that does sound like a wise elder. It reminds me of the Buddhist principle is you react to people and you listen to people compassionately because they all have a story. And what you gain from having compassionate reaction with others will only bring you up. I shouldn't say only, but it will bring you up as well.
Indeed. And it would be an only thing when you're focused on self,
Right.
because no matter what, when you wake up, when you rise, and when you go down to rest, you are you. You're only responsible for yourself. You're not responsible for the actions, thoughts, or emotions of the next. So it is always best for you to have that introspect with every connection that you have, even with your own connection with yourself.
That's true wisdom. Is that why you believe that you had the staff in addition to the spear in your past life?
Yes, not only am I there to help with sustenance, to fill the vessel, but I'm also there to help with filling the spirit too. Yeah.
So this staff is emblematic of the spiral of the spirit, of the wisdom, of the frequency that
Yes.
you carry.
Yes.
It's beautiful. Do I have to ask you about Tribe Manuel?
Okay.
I noticed that a lot of posts that you make on social is really calling out poor behavior a lot of times. No one in particular, just calling out poor behavior. And I think folks that read it can take it how, if it's applicable, then maybe you need to take a look at yourself. If it's not, then we know that that's something that you've experienced or you've witnessed, and you're not going to stay silent because complicity often is in silence, right? But the other part of what you post is usually very upbeat, like we are all one, we are unity, we are community, and we are building a soul tribe here. And so I'd love to know how you came up with Tribe Manuel, which it shall be named until Spirit tells you another name.
Yeah.
I want to know how you came up with this goal to build this tribe and what you're looking to achieve.
Well, Tribe Manuel for me started, I would say, when I was about 15.
Oh, I had no idea this was a tribe you've been building for quite a while.
Yes, this has been something that I've been wanting and looking to cultivate since I was 15. I remember sitting with my family. Everybody has familial things that happen, whether it be trials, tribulations. So around 15, I had looked around and I had told my siblings and I had let everyone that I was in connection with at that time know, look, I want connection that is healthy. I want folk around me that love themselves and can love other people too. I want healthy around me. So I'm going to give you guys until I'm 30 for us to work these things out. And
I love a well-planned deadline.
yeah, I said I'm gonna give you guys until I'm 30 because I'm not gonna want to keep going through the same things when I'm 30 years old. I don't see myself wanting to go through these things when I'm 30 years old. So I'm giving you guys these 15 years to really let's work things out because I need a tribe. I believe in my ancestry background from Alaska, the things that I learned about the Eskimos, and I know that's a derogatory name for them, even though I grew up saying I'm Eskimo. I respect their way of life. That's what I'm looking for, a tribe. So it started then, and over the years, it's just kind of started to cultivate itself where I have those individuals who have not gone anywhere in my life, and we've been good to each other. We've been able to help uplift each other, be there for each other, place the mirror up in front of each other, and we have no issues with each other. We're able to communicate healthily. We're able to work through different things, whether it be good, bad, beautiful, or ugly together. And that's, for me, honoring our what they call it, our alma mater, or however you want to put it, is we honor ourselves, each other, spirit, and nature. And that's been something that I've been working on for years. It became more of a tribe in my mind in my past marriage. Then it became, oh, I can really do this. I have people who really want to be a part of this with me, like really in it. Because I found that the more that I've gotten into my spirituality and bringing both my spirituality and my mental health together, I've noticed either people are staying close knit and they appreciate it, or they're falling off, like leaves during the autumn. Just let it go. So it's been something I've been really cultivating, and I'm realizing more and more it is apparent in my life. Just not everybody, and what I do understand about being chief means that I'm pulling from those that's in my tribe to keep going. Like I'm not just being a dictator, that I do utilize what resources and what knowledge and what skills and what talents those around me have so that we can all work together. So it's just been one of those journeys for me.
You have been an old, wise elder all of your life. Pretty amazing.
My grandmother used to tell me when I was a little girl, when I was about 4 or 5, she used to tell me all the time, you've been here before. You've been here before. And I heard it from so many older folk growing up.
I want to know how I can apply to become part of Tribe Manuel. Is there an application process? Number one. Number two, I want you to tell folks about the work that you do with your art and what you're trying to build with the Bay Life, because I think people will really be interested in seeing your artwork and knowing about this message that you have about honoring the four most necessary things in our lives.
Yes. So in order for you to be a part of Tribe Manuel, there's no application. It's more so go through 4 seasons with me. I do these rituals ceremony like, and it's during the springtime. So it's like right before the springtime where we're setting for a new year with Mother Earth. So what it is a burning away and making away ceremony. So you're burning away all the negative, nasty, bad from the year prior, from the 4 seasons prior, what it is that you want to see gone in your next 4 seasons ahead. And then you're manifesting for your next 4 seasons while we're gifting each other and as well as receiving gift from spirit, meditate together. And then we go about our 4 seasons together. And if things work out within those 4 seasons, we're locked in for good. And then if in those 4 seasons there's any discrepancies that we can't work out within ourselves, I am not going to sit around with anyone in the tribe that there's going to be any kind of discrepancy with that can't be worked out, because those things should be able to be worked out. So that's the only thing. That's literally it, is bring yourself, your body, your mind, your soul, and be ready for life, everlasting and light and growth and just joy. I'm trying to tell you the peace and the laughter that we're going to have together for 4 seasons. Mind being open, spirit being open to it. It'll be a lifetime reward that once our vessels leave this earth, we're still going to feel each other. Wouldn't be a denying in that. And as far as what I'm doing with the Bay Life, the Building an Empire Life, it's a small retail business. I'm the main one doing everything. I'm everything about it. I have nobody helping me. I have no team behind me. One man show here. And it's a mental health awareness, mindfulness, and art all combined into one. So what I'm doing is teaching children, the youth, of how to express themselves or be a little bit more mindful for themselves to give them a fighting chance in their future as teenagers and adults as well. And I'm a mindfulness coach now in the state. So that's a beautiful thing. I was looking forward to being able to do that. I do plan to go further with it. As of right now, I'm a mindfulness coach where I just utilize what it is that I know, what it is that I see, the different things. I get to know people for where they are comfortable, and then I help them find a way within their comfort to be more mindful for themselves. And all of it, you literally are going to be doing something creative in. There's not one thing that you'll be doing with me that you won't go home with something visual for yourself to always look back at and say, I did that, or I can get through this. That was a tough battle. I know I got power over this though. So that's my goal, is to reach as many people as I can reach that's ready for healing. Because not a lot of folk ready for healing. They run from it. But if you're ready for healing and you're ready for a chance at your life that you never took before, that's what I'm here for. And I'm going to always push folk for that. I'm going to hold you just as accountable as I hold myself on a day-to-day basis. And it's all love, mindfully.
Mindful love, radical mindful love. I love that. What would you say to the individual who barely can etch out a stick figure?
You're still an artist.
You just specialize in straight line.
You're still an artist. A line is art. I would be like, you ever go into an art museum, an art gallery, and you look at all the art around you, and you're wondering why this piece of art has a dot, but it's worth $2 million. You ever think, and that was an exaggeration, did you ever think to yourself, what makes that worth more than this extravagant piece that has all this fine detail somebody literally sat there for days to do? And it costs less than that. The power, the message, the reasoning behind whatever it is that you're putting on that paper is more powerful than anything that you could imagine. Don't doubt yourself. If you can make that line, you can make another line to make a picture from. You can continue to make all kinds of artwork with lines. You can literally just sit there, get a sketchbook out, and just start making lines on your sketchbook. And you can literally make a silhouette of a picture from lines. That's what I would say.
I love that. I think a lot of people, number one, are nervous about doing anything too artsy if they feel they don't have an innate ability. But that I love the fact that you can still create. It's still art. Art is way more than having something that's worth however many dollars. It's your participation in that creation.
Indeed.
Yeah, I love that. And the other thing that I absolutely love with your message is you're bringing children in young so that they understand mindfulness and how their own brains can get in their own way and put an end to it then. Yes. Understand that you don't have to deal with your own self-talk.
Yes. Yes.
So when you're creating, your mind isn't on dragging yourself down. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I said that. Why didn't I do this? I'm late on jumping into buying a house. Everybody else my age has all that stuff that adults do to themselves. I love that you are challenging their minds in such a positive way.
Yes.
That is so needed.
I appreciate that. And yes, it is extremely needed. It's so needed. It's like when I tell my son, I'm teaching you this now because you deserve to know now. You don't deserve to have to wait until you're in your adolescence, teenage years, or early adult years, or waiting until you're in your mid-30s or your 50s and trying to figure it out then. I know now. So my job is to teach you now.
Perfect. If people want to get a hold of you, how would you tell them to reach out to you?
They can reach out to me through my Facebook page, The Building an Empire Life LLC. They can always text my business phone or call my business phone at 667-9736. Email me at baepwc@gmail.com, or they can visit my website, thebuildinganempirelife.com. They can register there as a member, and I would get their information. They can always contact me. They can always book me as a mental health mindfulness coach, or they could just do the meet the artist option and chat with me for a few minutes.
Thank you. I will make sure to have all of this information about the Bay Life and also about how to reach out to you, Chief, in the show notes. And I can't thank you enough for this discussion. I knew it was going to be special, but now I'm a bigger fan than ever.
I appreciate you, Chione.
I appreciate you too, my dear. Thank you so much for giving me your time, your thoughts, sharing your beautiful artwork. All of you have to go on their website and look up the artwork. It's gorgeous. It's colorful. It's vibrant. It's poignant. And you will have a feeling when you look at this art. It is evocative. And I think that's the point.
Yes.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you. You have a blessed one, and you be kind to yourself.
You too. Bye-bye. Thank you for joining me for the Past Lives Cafe. If you would like to contact my guests, this information will be in the show notes. If you or someone you know would like to discuss a past life experience on this podcast or are interested in my services, please reach out to me at Chione@quantumjourneygo.com. The enchantment continues on the Mystical Mermaid Lounge podcast that I co-host with Chloe Brown, a welcome space where we nourish the souls of all spiritual seekers. And remember, while we can't relive the past, together we can heal it.